And we go live with the incident reports and security plans of the armed forces and national police in Ecuador.
Police Colonel Francisco reporting from the center. We'll listen to the President of the National Electoral Council. Good afternoon. Now, we must report citizens that the electoral day develops totally normally. No violent incident so far, which is a celebration, and we encourage our citizens to go to the polling stations. They close at 5 p.m. You're still on time because Ecuador needs your presence at the polling stations. To this moment, we have registered 45.41% of participation in these elections in all the national territory. This means the historical records and predictions stay the same. It is also important to inform that the National Electoral Council acknowledges the difficulties voters have had online. Now, most of these difficulties have been solved. However, technical support continues assisting all our fellow countrymen and women abroad. After the voting day, the election day, electoral authorities will make a general aftermath about these circumstances, and we will issue our opinions. Good afternoon. Now, Minister of the Interior. Thank you very much to all the electoral authorities gathered here. We want to say that the electoral process has most of the 60% of the electoral day has been completed and no incident in the country. All our armed forces and emergency institutions are distributed, and we are monitoring the country real time. We have installed a strategic command so we can supervise all the operations if they were needed. All our police and armed forces are in the streets throughout the street to ensure citizens' security and, of course, the security of our candidates. They have all exercised their vote, both citizens and the candidates, with no incident whatsoever. We are making air surveillance, and I would like to reiterate to the citizenship of Ecuador that we must go to the polling stations and exercise our right to vote, because this is the greatest expression of our democracy. So our Ecuadorians can go to vote without fear. Well, we have had some situations with some specific citizens, and with some irregularities with some citizens that have committed irregularities during the electoral process. Please, I would like to reiterate to our citizenship that they can go to vote. Now, Director of Air Operations. Ms. President of the National Electoral Council, the Air Forces and the Armed Forces are guarding the polling stations all throughout the national territory. We haven't had any incidents so far. All structures of control and command and the strategic command are in place. So far, we have worked in coordination with the national police outside the polling stations. We have activated all our intelligence systems to prevent any risk situation. So far, we haven't had any report of any incidents. From the air, we are monitoring every city, every polling station, and reiterate to our citizenship that they must continue exercising their vote. Thank you very much, Ms. President. We are closing the second report of our radio and television news brief. Have a good afternoon.
The president of the National Electoral Council stated that so far there were no violent incidents. A police station will close at 5 p.m. and up to this moment there is a register that means a historical record. Moreover, the National Electoral Council acknowledges the difficulties that voters have had online and that technical support continues. Furthermore, it was stated that most of 60% of elections were completed without any violence, and that a strategic command was installed to secure all the operations needed. The police is in streets to prevent any incident, and the air surveillance is being done as well. Voting is a great expression of democracy, and that it shows that there is no fear. Furthermore, there have been some situations with the citizens, and they called to the rest of the citizens to go to vote. Moreover, it was pointed out that the air forces are in place and that so far they worked in coordination with the national police in order to establish and monitor all the cities in the country.